faster than ever, hungry, and I'm going to come back and take what is mine, bigger and better. It's a new dawn, it's a new day. Some things are different, but nothing has changed. Still got my number, still got my name. Tell everybody I'm back in the game. Saddle, cut to the chase. I ain't somebody who stays in one place. Ready to go, I'm coming to play. You better know I still got something to say. It's a new dawn, it's a new day. Some things are different, but nothing has changed. Still got my number, still got my name. Tell everybody I'm back in the game. match I couldn't handle. No one else could ever hold a candle. Get ready for a battle, cause you know
from the virtual Hickory Motor Speedway, the birthplace of NASCAR stars, located in Hickory, North Carolina, Cabarrus County. We welcome you to coverage of the next round of the Crown Jewel LMSC Series, Hickory Motor Speedway tonight. And tonight is the virtual running of what has already been past Easter, the Easter Bunny 150. We've got an exciting event here tonight for the Crown Jewel Late Model Stock Series. 150 laps. Should be an exciting race here. We're ready to bring it to you on this Wednesday evening. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the coverage. I'm Wesley Outland on play-by-play. This is iRacing on LSRTV. We have Mr. John Mustin Jr. alongside. Now, John is dealing with the weather elements that I dealt with kind of in a little way last Monday night. And hopefully things will work itself out. We can keep him here. John, we love late model stock car racing. This is as grassroots as it can get on the iRacing simulator, besides like a street stock car. And, man, we're going to have a fun time here tonight at Hickory.
Yeah, Hickory never lets down as far as excitement goes. Real life, I'm going to be honest with you, I've never raced on it or participated in a viewing of Hickory Motor Speedway and iRacing, but I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. Before we go much further, I just want to... My heart's breaking right now for the folks down in Uvalde, Texas. I got friends down there from the oil field that I've been talking to for the last 24 hours, as you know, the horrible incident that took place yesterday. And I just, man, my heart and prayers go out to those folks down there. And it's a heartbreaking thing to deal with.
Yeah, it's I don't want to go off subject here, but definitely it's a sad time in our country right now. People are hurting, and I think what just happened in Texas yesterday has made people hurt even more. Prayers to the families and the loved ones and those 21 lost souls, and we hopefully will. I don't know where we go from here. Definitely, it's
nobody does,
it's
brother.
Nice to
we go
enjoy.
racing where we go.
It's nice to enjoy this diversion, if you will.
Yeah.
Amongst the things that we have that going on in our crazy life. Sometimes it sucks. So let's take a look at the race analysis here tonight for Hickory Motor Speedway as we get ready for this event here. Look at the bottom left of the monitor. It's 150 laps, okay? So 150 laps. This racetrack is a 3/10 mile, just shy of being a 4/10 mile racetrack. It's a very small racetrack. It certainly is. Stage breaks are going to be in this race on lap 45 and lap 90. There is one set of tires in addition to the original 4 tires that are on the car for the race to begin with. So there will be sometime tonight an opportunity for one of those drivers to go for another set. Stage breaks again 45 to 90. There is no fast repair. Sometimes we see drivers get caught up in accidents. They tear their cars up here. They get a fast repair. They try to get back in the game. 100% fuel load means for the most part they can try to go on a whole tank of fuel. And this is a fixed setup series. A lot of different than an open setup, obviously, John. And I think that allows you to have the opportunity to do handling and work on setup and make adjustments, and it's not where you're boxed into one thing.
Yeah, to me, I guess the way I explain it to folks who aren't familiar with iRacing or sim racing in general, Fixed setup is the driver adapts to the car and the conditions of the car and how the car drives. Whereas open setup, you can work on the car's setup and get the car to adapt to the way you drive. And I lied to you, by the way, Wesley, and I apologize for that. I have driven Hickory. I forgot that Hickory was on the old Papyrus NASCAR sim racing, which is where our friends at iRacing kind of evolved from. So I do remember, and once we logged in and I saw the track, oh yeah, I have been here before. And you know what this track feels like? It feels like you never stop turning left at this track.
That's right.
I do remember that. I hate this place.
Yeah, it's like a solid circle, if you will. Matter of fact, if we could get maybe we could get an aerial view sometime tonight of this racetrack, and you literally will see what it looks like. It looks like a circle. You're constantly going around in a circle. Yeah, there might be a straightaway there and a straightaway there, but honestly, you seem like you're always turning. You're exactly really right. Yeah. And a lot of people might not know this as well, but the history of the Hickory Motor Speedway, deep. In real life, John, it is right next to a cemetery. It's right next to a graveyard.
They say the track, now listen, I used to live up on the East Coast, not too far from Hickory. I lived up in Virginia, and we used to go to Langley and Hickory, Southside Speedway, where all the Cars tour goes, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And they say that this place is haunted, and I'm telling you, dude, some stuff that I've seen out there at 2 o'clock in the morning when you're leaving, I kind of believe it. I do.
I will just tell you this. Back in the day, the NASCAR Busch Series used to race here back in the day. The NASCAR Grand National Series used to run here back in the day. But what I remember as a kid growing up, my dad used to take me to Hickory, and I used to go to the Sundrop 300, or what became known as the Pantry 300. And one of the crazy things is we would be live in the grandstands. They'd be live on television, MRN, whatever. And the race would literally get stopped because Hickory Motor Speedway has to observe a funeral. They had to stop all on-track activity. And that was one of the big things that caused NASCAR to pull away from Hickory Motor Speedway, was because I think it happened maybe 2 or 3 times in the existence of the race, but there would be literally funerals that would be ongoing. And because of that, they would have to halt. We don't have to deal with that in the virtual sim, but we are ready now.
Oh, no, we had the virtual part of that where the dang internet drops on your announcers after time.
Yeah, Josh Cottle up first. Anderson, South Carolina native of the Cottle, entry number 18, Hangout Chat Motorsports, car number 13. And he will be our first car to qualify here. Last chance race if necessary. I don't know if we're going to need that or not, because we got less than 20 cars so far. And we'll see where he turns right now, as that is Shane Williamson. All these cars are having their long qualifying sessions. So we're just kind of picking cars. Here's the key maker. Number 85 Chevrolet, Lee Norton on the racetrack. We'll see what Mr. Lee Norton can do, as he is our next qualifier. You notice the driver out of Groats, Virginia, man. He makes a fast lap for the shop. And the 36-year-old immediately, John, parks it. He's happy with his car. Here comes Austin Teal.
I'm looking through the timing. There is a guy in here that I do know that I race with every day, it seems like, Dalton Collins. I don't see him on track yet for his Q run, though.
Kendrick Cryer now making his lap in the car number Route 66 machine. Get your kicks on Route 66 here at Hickory.
Sing that, Wesley.
From Wisconsin Dells, Wisconsin. Yes. There's the league owner of the series for the Crown Jewel ELMS series, Mr. Cameron Ruggles, the Virginian. A real racer, might I add, at Dominion and Langley Speedway. Yep. From Chesterfield, Virginia, the 21-year-old for Ryan Kuhn Motorsports.
I used to live about 10 minutes from Southside Speedway up in Chesterfield.
Midlothian, Virginia.
How do you put this? There was a gentleman's club off of the Midlothian Turnpike that used to sponsor 2 of the late models at Southside Speedway. Got by the name of Fraser Boyd.
There you go. Well,
the paper moon.
There's somebody in the racing industry I know today that's actually got this sponsored by OnlyFans. So it's kind of crazy. Colin Roberts is up now. 27 Chevrolet.
How does the driver get publicity for that one?
Well, I think it's not him. It's his girlfriend or wife. I think it is. Yeah.
But remember how when Back in the
Great
day, when, like,
promoting, though,
Budweiser
right?
sponsored Dale Jr. and he had to go out and do these meetings and meet and greets and stuff like that for
Yes.
the sponsors. Like, how would you do that for like something for like OnlyFans? Like, what's that all about?
Here comes Timmy Holmes now. I'm trying to divert from the subject here. We're not trying to open that door. From Conway, South Carolina, the 14-year-old entry, the Chevrolet of Timmy Holmes. This is a PG, rated R.
That's who I'm going to be pulling
This
for
is-
tonight, the 67 car of Timmy Holmes.
This is a rated G entertainment for iRacing, not PG-13. So, Timmy Holmes, he goes to the top of the board, by the way, 14:57. 14.57 seconds. So, it looks like qualifying is about over with here. Hey, by the way, if you didn't know, John, this is round number 5 of the series.
I did not know.
Samuel Dyer and Justin started the season for us in those triple 35 lappers at New Smyrna. Samuel and myself was on the call last week at the race at South Boston, which was a single event. So that's 4 races on the year. This is round number 5 tonight. And they kind of mimic, if you will. Oh, we got more qualifying. Here comes Charles Roth. We'll see what Charles Roth can do here as a late entry on qualifying. They've got this certain amount of time to put their lap in, John, and then qualifying expires.
Well, he's still got like 5 minutes on the clock from what I'm seeing, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's happy to be here.
Oh, Charles.
Mr. Roth. There goes Charles Roth.
I wonder if he's
Blue
related
and
to Doug
green
over there.
Chevrolet with flames. That's a very unique color wrap job, isn't it, John? Look at that.
It's kind of making me nauseous. Yes, Charles on the nose, right there.
Yeah.
Yes, the Nickelodeon slime paint scheme, but it's flames. We get that, but yeah. Oh,
Rock and roll, Charles Roth across the line. 15.019, 15.019. Yeah, he's right now in the top 16, top 20. He's 15th outside the top 15. So there you go.
yeah,
Looks like qualifying.
14.5. So that's
Yes.
a off the mark there.
Here comes Bradley Wilson. MDT Shine Toyota, number 51. We'll see what lap he puts down on the racetrack, as he is the next qualifier. Bradley Wilson out of Fredericksburg, Virginia, the Shenandoah Shine Racing Team Toyota, number 51. And we'll see what this 18-year-old can do here. Coming off turn 4.
A little loose right there off the 4. 14.7 is not bad.
Yeah, Hickory Motor Speedway is a very unique racetrack, as I said. Timmy Holmes right now, 14.57, the pole speed. Kendrick Cryer, 14.62, a 14.62 for Cottle. Drew Cox on a 14.63. Right now, the average speed in qualifying, 14.51 to a 15.04. And there's still some other cars that have not took time yet. They got 3.5 minutes. If you want to qualify, you better go on track now, John, before that clock expires.
Okay,
Hey,
let me get down there. I'll do it right now.
weather conditions. Let's take a look at the weather as we are still in qualifying mode. Bottom right of the monitor. And, oh, my goodness,
wow.
look at this. Air temp at 82 in sim, virtual sim time, partly cloudy, 10-mile-per-hour winds. Track temp, oh, my goodness, John, 108
Hot and slick, buddy. Hot
degrees. That is going to be blistering on tires.
It's the 33 of Justin Rocks?
Yes.
Brooks.
Brett Suggs.
No,
No, that's
Brett
my buddy.
Suggs.
That's
Oh,
my
that's the
buddy,
old
Brett
33.
Suggs. Yeah, that's the 033 of Mr. Brett Suggs, former Allison Legacy Series go-kart racer, now runs in the Southeast Super Truck Series. One of those real race car drivers that I know very, very well. And it looks like maybe Suggs might have a problem.
Speed right here.
It's like it's out of gear or something. It's like he's dragging the brakes to heat the tires up. And actually, that's normally a no-no in the real world with short track racing. You would get a black flag, but I guess in the sim world, it's okay.
Well, I know that you have to keep up a minimum speed in most series. They may have that turned off here, but oh, psych.
Oh, he might have something wrong with his car.
Here's Justin Brooks right here.
This is Mr. Justin Brooks. Yes. Oh, and by the way, John, the battle of Brooks and Suggs was right there with also Ryan Kuhn last week at.
I watched y'all last week. That was a dang good race to watch last week.
South Boston, Caution Field. Caution Field.
A lot of drama on the last 5-10 laps.
Yeah, Sobo did not disappoint. Round 4. Justin Brooks is up now. Car number 33, 14.716 for Justin Brooks. I think he's done with his qualifying lap now. Of course, Justin Brooks
is back out.
He is. I think he might be getting time now, just getting practice laps, if you will.
Oh, okay.
But it's good to see Justin Brooks out there just a moment ago. Where are you at, Justin? Trying to pull up your announcer notes. It says he's in car 47, but he's actually in the 33 machine. And he is out of McCall, South Carolina. Not McCall, South Carolina. Home of the great
what a lap.
Late model racing. Yes, look at that. Brett Suggs. Yes, sir. Second fast. He's climbing. 14.59. Can he get in the 14.57s? He's there. No. Good enough for second, though, John.
Jordan Valdez now.
Yes, sir. By the way, John, if you check the messenger chat in our broadcast link, I will send you the roster to kind of help you out.
That would be fantastic, sir.
Yes, sir. So just check it out right there. Let me know when you got it. In our chat box, yes, sir. Or not our VMix.
VMix.
Chat.
I'm looking in Facebook Messenger.
Yeah, there's a place where you can chat here, man. You don't see me hitting you up?
I do see it. Put your clothes back on, please.
Whoa!
Sorry, the file you have requested does not exist.
Huh? Oh, well. Anyhow, qualifying's over, and are they going to run a last chance race? They're going to run the last chance race here, so I think we're going to get these guys lined up. You know what I think it is, John? You have to put in your email address to try to get that roster. Yeah, I think it's on lock mode. You got to put in your email address, and they have to confirm it or accept it or whatnot. Working behind the scenes, peeps, as the field is gritting for what will be the last chance qualifier race. Now, this is in no part of the Easter Bunny 150 race. Why wouldn't they just call it the Memorial Day 150? Well, no, this is the reason why. The Crown Jewel LMSC series mimics, John, the real late model stock car Crown Jewel events across the country that I've had the privilege to either continue to still do or have done in the past, like Martinsville, like the Easter Bunny 150, like Myrtle Beach 400, or the Thanksgiving Classic, or the Martinsville Valley Star 300, Hampton Heat 200. These are just some of the races that you're going to see until the finale on June the 29th for the Thanksgiving Classic at Southern National.
Thanksgiving Classic at Southern National Motorsports Park.
Yes. Which, by the way, I announced that race last year.
Sunday.
Well, I did the preliminary Friday and Saturday of it. The big race I was at Caraway for Sunday because they brought in Motor Racing Network's Alex Hayden, Dave Booty, and Steve Post to call the big late model stock race. But I was there
with
for all
the big
the preliminary
guns, didn't
stuff. Yeah, they did. Well, it's. So I'm understanding, John, 16 have made it in by virtual qualifying. So the top 16 have locked in. 17th on back are in the last chance race. And they're doing a 20-lap last chance qualifier. Let's give you the starting lineup on the pole. Lee Norton in the car, number 85. Brad Carpenter in the 31. Charles Roth in the number 49. Jordan Valdez in the number 19. The smart thing would be, John, is just go out there, take advantage of this as a practice session, and be ready to go to get some more news and notes on your guys before the big race coming up later tonight
question.
But the more you advance your position, the better your starting spot will be. But it's only for 4 positions.
That's what I was going to ask you. How many are going to the main?
Everybody's going.
That's what I thought. So, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Dalton Collins didn't make the start. So
Yeah, green flag is out for the last chance qualifier. And, you know, last week at South Boston, I think we had 30 cars, 29 cars start the race. So look at this, guys. They're trying to go 3 wide in the start. Oh, my goodness, what are you thinking there, Valdez? Valdez down on the outside. He'll pull down to the bottom. He'll pull up under Carpenter and Roth. And first lap is in, and Mr. Norton John is up in front.
Norton. Hey, Norton. Slow down. You're leaving everybody behind. Norton. Yeah, he's up front. And I'm kind of with you on this here, Wesley. Like I said, I would treat this kind of like a 20-lap practice run just to see what this car is going to feel like. Maybe drive it really hard after 10 laps and see, you know, maybe if you back off after that and go for the last 10 laps, kind of take it easy on the tires. Then check your tire wear in the garage when you're done. See what it look like. You know what I mean?
Norton is the leader. You're exactly right.
And how many tires you said they get in the feature?
150 laps. They get 1 set of tires that they start on for the race, and then another set. There'll be 3 stages. The first stage, caution on lap 45, lap 90, and then they race to 150.
Interesting. So they're going to give these guys 1 extra set of tires, which I find pretty cool. I mean, we've seen, you and I have done these where they didn't get any extra sets of tires for 150 laps. So that kind of gives a little leeway with how hard you can drive your car and in what stage of the race, you know what I mean?
Easter Bunny 150, round number 5 of the Crown Jewel E Late Model Stock Car Series on iRacing, LSRTV here at Hickory Motor Speedway. This is the last chance qualifier, which means everybody's going into the show. It's just going to advance who's going to be in positions 17, 18, 19 to 20. Because everybody, for the most part, is going to the dance now. If there was cars that chose not to start the last chance qualifier, John, they can still start the race, but they're going to be behind these 4 cars right here.
No, they can't even start the race.
They're only taking 20 cars is what I've actually been told. So if you did not run this last chance race, you're pretty much packed up and done for it.
And I'm seeing Brett Suggs has scored in the pits in 5th. Does that mean he's not going to make the show? Oh, boy.
Yeah, Brett Suggs, yeah. Norton, Carpenter, Valdez, Ross, Suggs, those drivers working their way. That's the way it stands right now. 11 laps to go. We're coming upon halfway this time by 20 lap last chance qualifier here before the Easter Bunny 150. And John, I'll say this. You see we're already 10 laps in. They just dropped the green flag 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, well, I mean, we are doing laps in under 15 seconds here. So you can pack in 3, almost 4 laps a minute. So yeah, I mean, and this is just, 4 cars on track though for the last chance qualifier. I'm sure that when we get, the rest of the 21 car field in the main event, it's going to be even more tense and exciting and action packed. Like I said, laps in under 15 seconds. Almost like the Cup cars at Bristol. They do laps pretty quick there at Bristol too.
Yeah, they do. They certainly do. Yes, sir.
And you said 4/10 of a mile is what we got here.
Well, this track it's 3/10 of a mile. Just shy of 4/10 of a mile. Yes, sir. Yep.
It's a tiny track, and it feels that way too.
Yeah,
contact. Hello,
yeah.
How you doing?
What's the battle here?
That's Valdez bumping Carpenter, saying, "I'm here, buddy. Let me by."
Certainly is. Let's see what goes on as they work their way back around the racetrack here. The laps are winding down. 5 to go.
Little door slamming at Hickory Motor Speedway.
5 laps to go in this last chance qualifier. It's Norton out in front. Look at this battle in the back. This is actually in between positions, Carpenter and Roth. So Brett Suggs, John, unable to make the start. They might maybe let him start in the rear.
No,
No, I understand they won't let him start. So, wow, that's disappointing for my friend out of Mooresville, North Carolina, Brett Suggs. And I'm trying to remember, did he qualify second? So was his qualifying time disallowed?
I don't know. That's why I'm confused. That's why I brought it up earlier. It's showing him in this 20 lap LCQ.
Right.
And I mean, he qualified second. So I'm so baffled by all this, to be completely honest with you.
Down the back straightaway they go here at Hickory. Norton works his way off of turn number 4. He'll come to the white flag, which is the CRN 1 to go in this last chance qualifier. Final lap here. Norton, Valdez, Carpenter. That's the way they stand with Suggs unable to drop the green. Roth will tag the back, and John off of turn number 4, checkered flag. Mr. Norton, Lee Norton in the 85 will win.
Drag it. Oh, hello, wall.
Race. Win the last chance qualifier. Not race, last chance qualifier. And I'm understanding that I mean, he's qualified second is what we were seeing. We are being told that Brett Suggs, had to have been some mistake there. He might have accidentally jumped in the server or think he had to run, but he is in the race, is what we've been informed. So those 4 drivers also in the race. So those 20 cars are coming up. And, John, we're going to take a quick break, man. We get ready for the Easter Bunny 150.
Yeah, buddy.
They'll get ready. We're going to get them one more, I believe, quick session, and then those 20-plus drivers will line up behind the pace car here at the birthplace of the NASCAR stars, America's famous short track, Hickory Motor Speedway, and they're going 150 laps to the Easter Bunny 150. We're going to step away. We'll be right back. This is iRacing on LSRTV.
it's broadcast personality Wesley Outland, and for the second year in a row, the Community Radio Network is excited to also be the voice of iRacing on LSRTV every Monday and Thursday night with the Northwest Racing Series for Cup and Truck. Join yours truly, Justin Prince and Samuel Dyer, every week as they race towards a championship. We're also on the radio in the Triangle, in the Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina area at 87.5 WCRN and anywhere worldwide at wearecrn.com. Click play, check out the coverage, the power of radio to the imagination of the listener, esports style. We are the Community Radio Network, the voice of iRacing on LSRTV. Check it out when you can, and replays are always up too. Broadcast personality Wesley Outland up topside at one of the great racetracks of the world, the Caraway Speedway. And I'd like to remind you to join us every Wednesday afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern to 3 p.m. Eastern with coverage of Finish Line, where we talk to everybody from NASCAR to grassroots, like right here at Caraway Speedway. Carolina's Fox Sports Radio affiliates, iHeartRadio, and on the Community Radio Network at 87.5 FM. And remember, thanks to Live Sim Racing Productions, you can actually see the guest panel, ask their questions, get interactive with us with comments and so much more in our chat box. Finish Line every Wednesday. Join us every week.
Welcome back to Hickory Motor Speedway, the home of the birthplace of NASCAR stars, America's most famous short track. We're ready to go here. John Muschin, I'm Wesley Outland. This is the, oh my goodness.
What was that?
66 getting his kicks flipping in front of our camera in turn 4. That was Mr. 66 there flipping through the air, John.
Having a bad day, was he?
Something of that caliber. That was Kendrick Crayer, yeah, the man from Wisconsin Dells, Wisconsin. Hey, so they're getting ready to finish up this practice session, and we're getting ready to go 150 laps here for the Easter Bunny 150. This is iRacing on LSRTV. This is round number 5, third event this year of the Crown Jewel E Late Model Stock Car Series. Keys to victory, John, going to be important to watch. Bottom left, and here is our thoughts of what will be the keys to victory here tonight at the Hickory Motor Speedway as we're coming up on 2 minutes remaining in practice. John, you take the middle. If there is one extra set of tires, do or will you need to conserve the ones you have on the car? Yes. Do you or will you really need? Absolutely. I think so. I think you're going to definitely have to conserve the tires on the car, especially when you take advantage of probably that second stage caution, and then you can change tires. And then John, you got the one in the middle there.
Yeah, there's no fast repairs, so too much damage, T-double-O, much damage to the car could put you out of the race tonight. By that we mean that generally speaking, sometimes there's what they call a fast repair in the race where you get some damage to the car's not running right, the engine's down on power, you jump in the pits, and poof, your crew fixes that right up. Well, not tonight. Tonight, if you do that, if you wind up scrunching that car up so much that the engine's smoking and you're under power, well, you just have to deal with it, run it till she blows, they say.
And to hit on what you said during commercial break, the wall. Don't hit the wall. Stay away from the wall all you can.
Yep.
And that's a big, big part of it. And finally, make clean passes. You don't want to spin a driver out and get an end-of-line penalty late in the race. Of course, that's that meatball black flag. You don't want to get those incident points up. And, of course, I said this again last week at South Boston. I'll say it again tonight at Hickory, John. To first win the race, you must first finish. And that is a very knowledgeable thing that I learned a long time ago in this industry. If you tear your cars up very quickly, you're not going to last to be there at the end.
That's true. Now, to clarify, folks, what Wesley said, the meatball black flag, actually, in iRacing, we have two types of black flags. One is the really bad one. You've done something on track to upset the folks up in the tower. They give you a great big old black hanky, and it's just a solid black. You go either to the rear of the field or into the pits, or you go back to your truck and go home, depending on how bad the penalty was. The second one is literally a black flag with a big red ball in the middle of it. We call it the meatball. That's when your car is leaking oil or it's got some sort of damage to it that could cause a hazard to other drivers on track. You'll get that one if you hit something hard enough. And you want to kind of avoid both of those at the same time.
Yeah, hey, can I send a shout out to Mr. Alan Bestwick from, he was on Finish Line earlier this afternoon. He is actually checking out, John and Charles, the iRacing coverage.
Well, hello.
And he says, man, it is so cool to see Hickory Motor Speedway in Indiana virtually. This brings me back to memories of back in the day of doing ESPN broadcasts at Hickory Motor Speedway. So Alan just gave me a message, and Alan, I thank you so much. Mark James, Doug Rice, Lenny Baticki, awesome show on Finish Line. You get a chance when this race is over, click on Finish Line. You'll be glad that you did, previewing Indy 500 and the Coke 600 for Memorial Day. With that being said, it's time to go racing. Easter Bunny 150 Hickory. Justin Brooks is on the pole. The 33, Bradley Wilson on the outside, row number 1, row number 2. We'll find Austin Till in the 09, Drew Cox in 98. Row 3, Josh Cottle in the 5, actually he's in the 13. Kendrick Cryer in the Route 66 machine. Row 4 on the grid, we will find Brett Suggs, 033. Timmy Holmes in the 67, so 8 again is the invert. Row number 5, top 10, Cameron Ruggles, 52. And Gilliamune Fortin in the 13. He'll start 10th.
Inside row 6, Jacob Ames in the double-aught shotgun 0 car there. Outside of him, Tyler Clerk in the 233. Inside row 7, you've got Devin Schillenberg in the 07. Wally Wilson with his outside in the 69 car. Inside row 8, Cullen Roberts in the 27 car. Outside of him, 53 of Shane Williamson. Inside row number 9, Lee Norton. The 85 car. His outside, Jordan Valdez in the 19 car. Bringing up shotgun on the field, row 10. You'll find inside 31 car, Brad Copter, and in the final spot, Charles Roth in the 49 car.
Hickory Motor Speedway, Easter Bunny 150 Sim is underway for the Crown Jewel Late Model Stock Car Series, and on the jump, Brooks is gone. Gaggle of traffic. Thiel, Wilson, Cottle, Cox on back. They hold it together from the top shelf of the racetrack high above. And lap number 1 is in.
Lap number 1's in, and Brooks is wasting no time stretching out that lead. He's got a little bit over half a second already. Lots of clean air. Oh, we got some contact between the 98 and the 51 right there on the outside. Gets more contact behind them, and they're going to spin this time.
A couple of cars getting together. Hold'em, caution is out. Well, that's north. And the couple other cars are involved in it. Did the 33 get caught up in it too?
It was hard to tell. It started with the 51 and the 98 having contact, and I think what happened was the 67 checked up because of that and might have gotten a little tap in the back end there from the 33 car.
All the while, caution is out for the first time here tonight at Hickory Motor Speedway. Let's take a look at your replay. Bumping, banging, short track, gouging. Ooh. Oh, man. It looks like there was another one up in the wall out of turn number 4 from a secondary caution, John, but it started there with a third 66. Kendrick Cryer, Ty LeClaire, all those cars involved in calamity in turn 4 down the front straightaway. Yeah,
we got some binged up, banged up, dinged up, and dented cars out there already. The 33 really center punched the 66 right there. So he's got to keep an eye on his water temperatures now. Wesley, that's something you and I have covered many, many times before in other forms of racing here in iRacing. They have modeled these things so realistically that you can literally punch out your radiator and over each car pretty quickly there. So he'll keep an eye on that. That is not something I don't think the 33 car of Justin Brooks really wanted to see this early was a caution. I think he was looking to maybe spread this field out a little bit.
Yeah, there's a little frustration there for those guys right out of the gate. Hopefully they can be able to remember, there is no fast repair. So if you tear your car up, the damage is what the damage is, John, and you just kind of hope that you can survive to get to the finish, mind you.
And even to get in and repair minor, cosmetic damage on the car could cost you significantly, because this is a short track, not a lot of lap times, even under caution. So to get in and try and get the fenders banged out or whatnot could be costly. So you really want to do the best you can to not get any damage. And well, I guess Brooks is doing it the right way, Wesley. He's out front.
7 of 150 laps completed. So here's the good thing, John. I think they are counting caution laps. So that's good. Caution laps are counting.
I'm
so
old
that
and I need my
helps make
sleep.
the race go by. We thought there was going to be the conversation of maybe just green flag laps only. But this is, we're 200 laps from the Thunder Road Harley-Davidson race at Sobo last week, but obviously you had stages. This race has stages, but it's only 150 laps as well. Another thing to think about, John, this track is 1/10 in size smaller than South Boston. South Boston last week was 4/10 of a mile. Hickory is a solid 3/8, 3/10.
And we got somebody stopped on the high side of
That's
the track.
That's the choose car. That's the choose car. I want to let you know about that, bud. I know this is your first race with the Crown Jewel Series. That is the Crown Jewel choose car. You know how they have the choose cone and the drivers go inside or outside like
use
NASCAR
a car
does?
for that?
They
That's
use
awesome.
the choose car. Ain't that awesome, dude?
That's awesome. Give a shout out to Cameron Ruggles on that one. That had to be his idea, right?
Cameron Ruggles and race director Caleb Hall for making the choose cone. The pace car catches the field. They get the one to go indication this time by, correction, I stand corrected, pace truck. And by the way, you're on board with Cameron Ruggles right there. Calm, cool, collective. Bottom right of the monitor. In position number 9, ready to bring him back.
Oh, he's in the
to
middle
the
of all
restart
this,
zone.
isn't he?
Little brake check in there. Hold it, guys. Hold it. There you go. Green flag. We're back to it again in Hickory. 10 laps in, 140 to go. And remember, they got to get to stage 1. Is there not enough traffic for that's inside the top 10 going to turn 3? What a move there. Wilson got in front of Cox there as well as Schallenberger.
Holmes said, I'm going to the inside right now. And I tell you what, I'm sure that got Cameron's attention as we're still riding on board in the car with him and in his living room.
Look at the way he's juking and driving. Look
Yeah,
at the way
look,
he's
he's
on
leaning
the wheel,
over
man.
trying to get some weight
And by the
transfer.
way, that was Schallenberger, not Schallenberger there. So Schallenberger, he's got cars to the left of him, the wall to the right. Here comes
Oh, he's in the
Hayes.
wall. Right there. You got a little wall contact.
Oh, no. Got a little bump there from behind by Wilson. And they hold it together up into the corner. It's Brooks, the man out in front. John, this is short track racing at its finest. You will see this in real life if you go to Hickory Motor Speedway.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to going back to Hickory in July.
I'm kind of jealous if you get to go there in real life, man. I'm down here in South Louisiana now. We don't have asphalt tracks down here. We have a couple of dirt tracks a couple hours away, but no asphalt tracks. Boot Hill's up in Shreveport. Yes, sir.
I've
That's
been to
about
Boot Hill.
4 hours from my, it's up in Greenwood, actually, right outside on the west side of Shreveport. My father raced dirt track there, actually, when I was a child. So, yes, I am quite familiar with Boot Hill Speedway.
Boot Hill Speedway I've been to. The one that they renamed it. They renamed a racetrack. I can't think of it. The Rev. I think I had another name
Talking about
before
Minden?
called the Rev.
Talking
Yes.
about out in Minden? Yeah.
Yes, been there. Done some sprint car announcing over there. Done some late model racing with the Ultimate Deep South Series.
So let me tell you a true story. You ready for a really funny story I think you'll get a kick out of?
Yeah, Brooks is still the leader, by the way.
Yes, he is. So back when I was still living up in Chesterfield, and I did some volunteer work.
Hold on,
Here we go,
got
wrecking,
problems
big
on the
wreck.
Racetrack trouble. That's Austin Till turned around. Austin Till got turned around. Looks like he got the double zero of Hayes as well.
Yep.
And the caution is out for
Now
the
I wonder
second
if
time
Hayes
here.
is going to get a black flag for going into pit road briefly there and then backing back out.
That's Austin Till, by the way. Hayes is the double zero. Austin
Yeah, that's
Till
what
is
I'm talking
the
about.
0-9.
No,
So
watch double zero here when this wreck ends up here. He goes about 20 feet into pit lane and then backs back out on the track instead of going down pit lane. Oh, he's got big damage on that right front.
you'd think there'd have to be some extenuating circumstances of why.
Yeah, there
he
might
had
be,
to-
but I mean, iRacing can be really fickle with his black flags. It really can.
I'm thinking Austin Till would get black flag for coming down pit road.
They might be able to waive that, though. I mean, they should be able to. Race control can do that. They can forgive black flags. Sometimes, even though it says, hey, you know, they took away your black flag, oh, here comes that choose car, as you call it.
Yeah, the crown choose car. I love
I
it.
like that. That is so cool, man. But yeah, sometimes, like I said, race control can remove the black flag, But for whatever reason, iRacing still makes you serve the penalty. Like, let's say you get an EOL for something, right? You know, speeding on pit road or you know, going down pit road to avoid a wreck. Even though the admin takes away from you, iRacing will still make you line up in the back of the field. It's so silly sometimes. It really is.
Interesting. Well, there is that LSRTV crown jewel choose cone. And
What
you
happens if somebody hits
see the
that
back
thing,
of the
man?
bumper, it says inside, outside. If you hit the car, you get a penalty. I think that's what the call is.
Imagine you do with a damaged vehicle too, you know?
So look, from the back of the choose car, look at the pace car passes, and here comes the outside lane leader. He goes to the outside. Everyone else now picking inside. Actually, that was a car that took the wave around, if you will. My apologies. Everyone else now staying to the inside of the racetrack. I think Justin Brooks went to the inside. Look, there's your final car. Now get the hell out of the way. Look at that. That fast. And the choose car will go back to the pit area, John. They'll cycle back around, and then they get the one to go. I love it. I think it's creative.
That's
I've never
great,
seen
man.
anything like it before.
That is a very unique thing that hey, dude, I've been doing sim racing since 1996. I've never seen that. So that is hats off for something very unique to this series. That's pretty cool. But anyway, we're about to go back to green. I'll finish my story with about the green and get it away here. I think you can just be proud of it. And maybe you can give me some backup and some insight on it too. I never
ready to come back. Ready to come back to the green flag here. It's Cottle, Brooks, Schillenberg, Cox, Bradley Wilson, the GOAT, as they call him. Ready to come back to the green flag here at Hickory. By the way, 25 laps in. We're closing in on 20 to go this time by in stage number 1. Stage breaks of this year's virtual sim Easter Bunny 150 tonight. Lap 45, lap 90 to lap 150.
Got a great fight going on here for the lead. You know, Brooks got off to such a great start on the initial restart of this race. Not quite so much this time. He's got caught on that 5 car as we ride along on top of Drew Cox's race car right here from the roof cam, watching this fight up here. And I tell you what, Brooks has a mirror full of that 5 car right now.
And what is Cottle's back RSA, the 13? It says
it's more than a meme. It's a team.
It's a team. It's more than a meme. It's a team. I like that.
Yeah,
Brooks,
I have no
Cottle,
idea what
Cox,
he's talking
1,
about.
2, and 3.
I'd like to know what the context is, you know?
Well, maybe some people made some memes about him, and he's, you know, just now there that takes a whole team of people, not just one.
Have you ever been blessed with a meme?
I have, actually, yes.
Somebody made a meme about you?
I have been actually blessed with an iRacing car with my face plastered all over it.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, look at that car out of shape.
Contact. Hold it together there,
Yeah.
Roberts on the inside. Good move there by Wilson. Wilson trying to power back on the outside lane as Wilson now hung out to dry.
Three wide.
He's looking through line in the middle is Mr. North.
Wilson is just falling back here. He's getting railroaded, man.
This is one of these racetracks, John, where, you know, you got to be smart, you got to race smart, but you also got to be a little, aggressive. If you don't give and you take, give is going to come and take advantage of you.
I think I know what you're trying to say. I do. My thing is, Wilson's giving up so many spots right now that are going to be very hard for him to get back as this race continues on because we do have the caution coming up here in about, 12 laps for the first stage break. But passing is difficult on this track if you don't have an absolute perfect car. And I have just watched the 51 bounce his off the wall a couple of times. So he's giving up a lot of spots. And, I mean, you know, there's only so much you can do when you're stuck on the outside like that. I get that, but man, I don't know. I might have had to get a little aggressive with somebody down there.
Man, this is the only entertainment tonight for iRacing on LSRTV. We're back again for Nazareth on Friday. As the field working their way back around the corner, it's going to be Brooks, the leader, out in front. Brooks and Cottle. Cox, the top 3. Schillenberg and Suggs, top 5. Whoa, hold on there. A little dirt tracking for Williamson and cars in the back. Roberts, Wilson, Hayes trying to climb back up in the ladder again with Wilson. That goes on as we're under 10 laps to go in stage number 1. They're in 3.
Wilson down the inside of the 66. Meantime, Ruggles stuck on the high side there. And it finally gets down in behind the 6-7 car. He's lost a lot of spot. Oh, a little contact right there from the 51 car into the 66 car, I believe it was. 69 car? It's hard to tell from up here. 66 car, yeah. It says... that's odd.
Yeah, get your kicks on Route 66, as I said earlier.
Yeah,
We were
but
watching
that's
that
his
car
number
fly
on
through the air
screen, but
prior.
on the timing, he's something different.
As the field works their way back around the racetrack. Yeah, we've got some of these guys now. Actually, John, the 66 car, the Route 66 car, that is actually Kendrick Cryer. But we've got some other cars that the numbers are not matching what the timing and scoring is, and it's a nightmare for our producer Charles Wooten, as it is for us in the broadcast booth. For instance, you see the battle for second and third going on. Cox is, yes, in the 98 car. He's closing in on, yes, the number 13 of Cottle. Josh Cottle, actually on timing and scoring, is being shown as number 5, but he is in the number 13.
Okay, you
By
don't
the
do
way,
me
we're
off
closing
prior
in
to lap
under 5 to go in stage 1.
Yes, we are. Under 5 to go. Well, about 3.5 laps ago. Now, Cryer is a lap down, but that's what threw me off was he was up there fighting with those guys kind of mid-pack. But I got that straightened out now. Thank you. Meantime, here we go. Back on board with Drew Cox in the 98. This 3-car battle for the lead, basically. Just tell you what, if anybody up in the front of him right now slips up, he's going to take the lead, and we're coming to 2 to go before stage break here, bud.
We certainly are. These laps are winding down here. Stage number 1 is about to be done. So they'll wait for the top 10. Actually, I stand corrected. They'll wait for everybody to cross the scoring loop and complete lap 45, which is this time by. This is officially lap 45. When they complete this upcoming lap, then we will throw the yellow flag midway down the backstretch. I'm thinking for lap 46. Aerial coverage, as always, for tonight's race provided by LSRTV, LiveSimRacing.com. We've officially completed stage number 1. Mr. Brooks will get stage 1. And as I said, they work to the back straightaway. The caution flag will wave when every car crosses the scoring loop, which is going to be right about here, right about now, John, unless they make me out to be a liar. And we're at the end of.
Are we sure we're taking cautions at the stage break?
Yes, that's what they said. The end of stage 1.
Because we're way past that now.
Yeah.
I give up, right? I give up.
I was told 3 stages. At the end of the stages, the caution flag comes out.
Well, in the meantime, we still have a great race going on up front between Brooks, Cottle, and Cox. They haven't really spread out too far away from Suggs back there in 4th. They do have a little bit of a gap. And I tell you what, though, watching these 3 go at it is really impressive. And yes, it's impressive, Wesley. It's impressive, Wesley, is what I was trying to say.
I just got made out to be a liar, and I'm
hey,
heartbroken.
welcome to the world of announcing, dude. It happens all the time.
Charles, did they change their mind on the stage breaks or something?
Huh.
Wow.
Well, you know, I mean, maybe race control fell asleep in the choose car over there. Maybe he's taking a nap.
Brooks, Cottle, Cox, Suggs, and Williamson, your top 5.
We are a third of the way through this thing, too.
You know, John, maybe they might have felt we had enough cautions in the first opening laps.
That's possible, yes,
They wanted to race a little further. I don't know.
That's very possible. So now what that brings to mind is fuel. I mean, how much fuel can these guys run on a fuel tank? Are we going to see green flag pit stops now, or do you think they'll make it to lap 90 for the next stage break?
So it was said that they're, unless they've changed that as well, 100% fuel capacity.
Okay,
so I'm
they can
assuming
probably go
the entire
race.
tanks are full. I'm thinking they can go the entire race on 100% fuel tank.
Well, see, I wasn't sure. I mean, I really didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, usually
you and I have
in
done
the
races
real,
where they put half a tank of fuel in these cars.
Exactly, yeah. Which makes them actually force them to come to the pits and take on fuel and tires.
Yep. So I mean, yeah, if it's 100% fuel, then here what we're looking at. If this is going to be the case, if they're not going to take cautions for the stage breaks, then we're going to see some guys maybe start taking care of their tires a little bit more, like we see the 98 car of Cox. He's falling back now from these 2 up front. So I don't know if that's because he's maybe trying to save some tires for the end of this race, now realizing there's not going to be cautions, or has he got a problem going on here?
So I was under the impression that the caution would come out at lap 45. That's not happened. We're now working lap number 60, which means now lap 90 would be stage 2 of the race. But right now, it is Brooks the leader. Cottle in second. There you see the 27 of Roberts trying to hold off Wilson, trying to run down Schillenberg, if you will, in the 07. They work off turn 4. Wilson, Hayes, Fortin, and Thiel. And remember, Hayes and Thiel got involved in that accident, most recent caution, John, out of turn 3 and 4, or turn 4, if you will, to the pit lane, and they've climbed their way right back in the top 10.
So they definitely know how to get around Hickory without, killing their car. Again, though, I'm wondering how much they're using up those tires that we talked about earlier. Tires are really important here at Hickory, because once those tires start to give out, that car is going to start sliding. All 4 tires will just slide on exit corner out towards that wall, and that is very unnerving when that happens. As a painter, I must say, dude, I am loving some of these paint jobs I'm seeing out here on these guys.
Oh yeah, they're sharp-looking cars, man, definitely. And I just love this vibe of true grassroots racing. I've always said I like what we do covering the Northwest or the Majors Cup Truck Series or whatnot, but like this is true grassroots late model stock car racing at its best. The only thing that would come second best would be, hey guys, let's create a Crown Jewel street stock series and have these street stock cars racing on racetracks.
That'd be fun too. I'm looking at the 98 has just lost 2 spots in 1 lap. I don't know what's going on with him. He does look like he's got some damage though on the right side of that car where he's gotten into the wall.
Yeah, that's Cox's car, and he's still right now holding into the top 5. He was for the longest time up to the 3rd spot, right behind Cottle, and now he has allowed himself to down.
Car way up high.
Whoa, up high. Hold on there. Up high. Car up high. I think that's the 33. And that is, of course, I believe, of Mr. Suggs. No, we got trouble.
Oh, big wreck.
They're wrecking. Everybody on the binders. Roberts on the checkup. Hayes is on the checkup. And who is it that spun there? Is that, oh my mind, it's the 49 of Roth and the 51 car of Wilson. Caution is out here out of turn 4 again at Hickory.
Now here we go to replay here. The 49 car going into the turn by himself. So was this a self-spin? And wound up facing the wrong way. That's all I can tell you. When you're looking the wrong way, that's never a good thing.
It looked like he was having handling issues right there in the 1 and 2 exit. Now watch this. All right, another lap. Let's try this again. See, look at him, John.
Yeah,
fighting
he's
the car.
struggling. He's struggling in the middle of that corner.
Yes, sir. Well, here it comes. He always just drove in there too hard.
Oh, there's a wall right there.
Okay, another lap.
Oh, you know what it was? It looks like maybe he was trying to give these guys room. Yeah.
Look, he went high, and then he got too high and got up in the... He exited the racetrack, and this car came out from under him, it looks like, whenever they come back around. That's what I'm predicting here.
How far? Did you go all the way back to the green flag, Charles?
I think this is when it happened right here.
Yeah, look, right there.
Right here, look at this. Just got up too high, John, and there you see the end result. Cox got collected. Schellenberg was able to miss him.
I was going to say, if the 98 wasn't having problems before, he's definitely got them now.
And now you see why Wilson also come to a stop as well. Well, we're under caution. We are 20 laps away from the end of stage number 2, which, by the way, stage 1 should have threw a caution. They didn't throw one.
Hey, we're almost to halfway in the whole race, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I told you, man. Hickory is
zipping on by.
It doesn't. These guys get it around here if you get a long green flag run. And to be honest with you, John, me and Samuel called a wreck fest last week in South Boston.
I wasn't going to say
that. There was no. I'll be honest. I'll call a spade the way it is. But the thing is this: the first opening 100 laps was calamity. Maybe the first 50 laps was calamity. Once we got all the other wrecked cars out of the way and the contenders were there, then it was a slugfest, and it was just a battle of who could be able to win. And of course, in the end, Ryan Kuhn picked up the victory.
So let me ask you something. These late models, when they pit, how long is the 4-tire stop for them?
Obviously, they pit under the same, like they don't make pit stops like NASCAR does, obviously, bud. So when they come to the pits, it's going to be at least a lap.
Okay,
it's
so
going
we
to be
had
at least 20 seconds or
the reason
more.
I'm asking is we had our top 2 drivers, Cottle and Brooks, that led the first half of this race, came down pit road. They came down, Hayes came down, Holmes came down, Thiel came down, Valdez, looks like Brad Carpenter came down. So we had some guys come down pit road. Some of them were on pit road for 25 seconds, some of them only for 14. So I'm guessing the 14-second pit stop with 2 tire stops.
Yep.
And then, so Brooks took 4 tires, it looks like. I can't go back and look because I'm not in the server, unfortunately. So I wouldn't be able to give you the lowdown on that. But it looks like
you're right. I think it was 14 seconds. It was 2 tire stops and fuel. It was 25 plus seconds or more. It was 4 tires and fuel. And we got more guys coming to the end. And by the way, unofficially, the stage break for stage 2 is lap 90. I don't know if they're going to throw a caution or not. They didn't on lap 45. We're back underway here at Hickory off of turn 4. Mr. Leader is Mr. Brett Suggs now, pulling up to the top spot. Williamson down to second. Schellenberg the third. And this battle going on side by side for position between Roberts and Ruggles out of turn 4. 3 wide.
there is a lot of action right here with this pack right here. The top 8 at that start have not pitted yet. So they are still on the original tires they started this race with, whereas guys like Cottle and Hayes and Brooks, those guys all came down pit road and at least took 2. Some of them took 4. So we're going to start seeing a really big mix-up here, Wesley, if this thing stays green, of how these guys cut through the field that have fresh tires trying to get around the guys that don't.
And by the way, John, we have passed halfway in the Easter Running 150, and we also have another caution flag as well. Caution coming out for Hayes in the 00. That's the second time he's had problems, and oh my goodness, maybe Brooks might be involved too. Uh-oh, here we go again. Let's see what happens.
3 wide, not going to work.
Wow. Oh, my. And Cox was spun in the back, I believe it was. The 98 of Cox was spun in the back there off of turn 2. John, it looked like Brooks was just being a little too aggressive. There you see Cox going by. A little too aggressive on Hayes, sticking it 3 wide off the exit of turn 2. And, yep, there you go.
Now, these two, why don't you go ahead and tell our viewers what happened between these two previously? Last week's race, was it?
Yeah, they've got some history. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
I don't try to poke the bear per se, John. But yes, they've got history together. So. And there you see Hayes' car. We had an incident in the race last week, John, where somebody literally got parked for literally causing a caution, and then they literally wrecked somebody intentionally. And Caleb Hall, the race director for the Crown Jewel LMSC series, said, hey, you're done. You're parked. I'm not putting up with this. And their night was done.
Good. That's the way it ought to be, man. I mean, I'm all about aggressive racing and a little bumping and banging. I mean, that's what short track racing has always been about. But these guys who do this intentional, well, you mess with me, so I'm going to wreck you. You park them for the rest of the season as far as I'm concerned. That's just the way I feel about it.
81 of 150 laps. There goes the Choose car. I love it, John. Ain't that awesome?
It is, brother. I tell you what, he needs to patent that idea because, you know, some other folks are going to see this and they're gonna steal the idea. But I like the idea, man. I do. Because, you know, I don't know how often you chit chat with the community of iRacing, but a lot of people who do a lot of the short track racing, the super late models, the street stocks, have been asking for a choose cone from iRacing for so long. But from what I've been told, it's a very difficult thing to code into the programming. Because iRacing's already got enough issues with the way people get black flagged by accidentally passing up somebody as they go on the pit road, stuff like that. So could you imagine the chaos that would ensue?
Right.
They tried to use a choose code. I don't know. I would love to see it, but this is a really good, you know, workaround if you ask me. I love it.
Ready to go here, Hickory, turn 4, green flag back in the air, the Crown Jewel Late Model Stock Car Series. And we're back to it again off of turn number 4. Down the back straightaway they go. Brett Suggs. Hey, John.
Sir.
Just something I thought about it is, oh, my God, here comes the cars getting pushed out of the way. Watch there. That's Wilson. Williamson, Fortin, where did he come from? He had problems earlier in the race. He's now up in the hunt to battle for this race.
Schillenberg's going to take the lead away, it looks like, from Suggs up front. Schillenberg was really making that car work down on the line. He looks like he's hooking the apron. Yeah, he is right there. You saw it. He's hooking the apron with those left side tires.
Yep, side
But
by
look
side.
at this, Suggs back on the inside now fighting back. And we got a great fight for all positions in the top 10, it looks like.
Look at this battle for the lead, heated. Battle for third, 5 cars. Look at that, throw a blanket over them. Side by side, Suggs on the inside. Driver left, driver right, Schillenberg. Schillenberg jumps up the apron out of fourth. They make contact. He pushes Suggs to the inside, gives him a little wiggle and a jiggle and a giggle and a bobble, and they hold on to it on a turn 2.
I beg you differ. I'm absolutely positive there ain't no giggling going on right now with those two.
Off of turn number 4, back to the line, Suggs to the bottom, and this now opens the door to Wally Wilson, who has now finally cleared that 5-car battle for third. He's now stuck his nose in the gunfight, and here comes Connell. He says, excuse me, coming through. Gilliam Fortin is also up there in the top 5.
Connell in that 5-car, he's got 2 freshmen. Brooks is the guy with 4 fresh tires back there. They've been trying to fight their way up to this crowd for a while now, pretty much ever since they pitted. They were interrupted by a caution flag. We're going to see how far they can get this time, if they can get up there. There's lap 91, by the way, in the book. We passed up that stage break, Wesley.
Certainly did, as right now the field works their way off of turn number 3 and 4. Lap 90, are they going to throw a caution? Are they going to make me out to be a liar? What are they doing here?
They're messing with us, man. That's what they do.
Maybe the loophole, John, was if there wasn't any cautions, then there would be cautions in the stages or something. I don't know. Mind you, hashtag fake news.
Contact.
Stage 3, we might have a caution. As Brooks now battles.
3 wide, not going to work, fellas.
Robertson, Brooks, 3 wide, Connell. Clouds to the left of me, Jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle. Nope, I'm going to go Maverick and Goose and go to the inside with you. And Lee Williamson hung out to dry out of turn 2.
Some great racing we're seeing right now. Boy, that 53 car of Shane Williamson stuck kind of on the outside there, trying to get down in front of somebody, but nobody's going to let him have it. And look at this smashed up 00 car coming into the picture here. Jacob Hayes, we saw the issues, I guess you want to say.
Yeah, he's had 2 cautions involving him.
Yes, and he's got his car is kind of frowning right now when you look at it. He's down on the inside of Williamson right now, trying to work his way back up there to get in this fight again. And I'll tell you what, Williamson's hanging on right there. He had a chance right there, Wesley, to duck down, but he didn't. I think he likes the inside a little bit better, or the outside, excuse me, a little bit better than the inside.
The rear spool of his car says, and I quote, "Pippin ain't easy." And here comes Cox to deliver the assist on the inside of Williamson as well to try to get back to Hayes. No, correction, that was Till. That was Austin Till.
His car's frowning too.
Roberts. But you know what the cool thing is, though, John? Even though those cars look like they're being battered and banged and bandaged like they're in a demolition derby, they're still able to race and compete and climb up the scoring pylon.
Absolutely, man. That's a great thing. There's a couple of great things about short track racing. One, you don't need to be aerodynamic. Aerodynamics have nothing to do with racing on a short track like this. And 2, these cars, they're so durable. Really, as long as you don't punch the radiator out of them and you keep your horsepower where it's supposed to be at, you can lose the fenders, the hood, the back of the car, and it is going to be fine. But it's when you start damaging that motor and the horsepower, Wesley, that's when it really kind of sucks to be, drive a race like that.
Yeah, I told somebody, John, these cars are like tanks, by the way, and we have put 100 laps on the board. We're on lap 100 of 150 for tonight.
Oh, we're wrecking.
Out. Is that Till? It's Austin Till going around. He saves it. Caution is out. Wilson, some other cars getting on the binders. Caution flies. Lap 102. Wow.
That was, I tell you what, he was all the way sideways in that turn right there. I'm amazed nobody else got into that. Let's see what happens here.
Let's watch the replay here. There's the 51 of Wilson. I wonder if this happened up in front of him.
It did. It was the 09 car field that was sideways.
I'll tell you what, John, I'm looking at these camera angles of how just exciting these cars are bunched up together.
So he goes into 3 and 4 down on the apron right there. and looks like contact again right there between he and the 27 car.
That's him and Brooks. 27 of Brooks there.
Little change up. Oh, a little
Correction,
contact.
Roberts. Oh, it was Roberts. My apologies. 27 of Roberts gave him a little push there. And John, you got to think, bud, that happened or that stemmed from Roberts giving him a little contact and Dill giving him a little contact earlier trying to climb out of turn 4.
Yeah, we saw that just about, 2 laps before this caution came out. Those guys got into a little bumping and banging. So I'm wondering, we got some guys flipping down pit road here, but I'm wondering, do you think that'll result in a black flag?
I don't know. I really don't know. I think it was just a racing deal. I don't really see anything being done deliberate where they're retaliating under caution per se. So I do know this though, John. Some of these drivers might peel down on the pit lane and change tires, or it might be all about track position being important with under 45 laps to go, and they're not going to pit. They're going to stay out there and race it out to the finish.
Yeah, and look, speaking of people pitting and taking tires earlier, look who's up inside the top 3 right now. Justin Brooks in that 33 car. He took 4 tires a while back. I think it was about halfway point of this race. So right now he's got the freshest tires out of everybody in the top 5. So
1 to go. Indication this time they go back to the start finish line. And John, I was going to say, as we get ready to go back to green here, Brett Suggs, the leader, the 33 from Mooresville, North Carolina. Here's something to think about. He's racing at Hickory this weekend in the Southeast Super Truck Series. He can take advantage of this practice sim, and if he wins, use it to his advantage for the real race on Saturday night.
That's a great point, Wesley. We've had numerous real-world drivers talk about, and we'll get into this after the restart. Let's get the restart going first.
Bring flag back out, 44. Correction, I'm sorry. Where's my math at? 43 laps to go, 42 to go now when they come back around there in this race. And again, it is all Brett Suggs now, the man out in front. By the way, you can follow him at Brett Suggs Racing and Marketing. I know he's excited about this. He's got that super truck ride, and he rode some Legends cars. He's also competed in the Allison Legacy Series. That's how I met him a couple of years ago at Charlotte. Super nice young man, John. And, of course, he's the guy who's in front as we got caught on sideways. Wow! Roberts, they save it. Hayes, they're bumping behind the Williamson, and they break away. Are you kidding me?
That boy's done some dirt track racing. You can tell right there. I'll tell you what, that was awesome. Boy. Wow. As we look out the back window of Josh Hoddle in the 5 car right now, looking back to this
here we go again.
mess of cars.
Can you say save of the night?
Hello, wall.
Cars sideways. They hold it together. They're dirt tracking it off of the corner. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, there they go. Trouble. Hayes
we're
goes
wrecking the
around. Hayes goes around. And also the 19 involved. It's Jordan Valdez and Hayes, and the caution's out again.
His car is just not
John,
happening.
that caution should have happened 2 laps ago, dude.
It really should have. You're absolutely right. Oh, he just got loose.
Look at that, right there. That was 2 laps before he finally spun. He hit the wall. And look at this, 3 wide. Look at him going 3 wide. Oh, wow, Valdez. Valdez lost it in front of him. Oh, my.
I think Valdez's car is broke. Look at that back end.
Oh, yeah, that's what you call
he's broke.
He is crab walking down the racetrack, if you will, John.
We touched on that earlier tonight. We talked about how iRacing has modeled damage into these cars so realistically right there. What you saw there was a result of that back end getting hit square on by Hayes, and it looks like it broke the track bars there. So he's done. That's going to take him out, I promise you. Now, what we were saying earlier was that a lot of drivers in real world have come to iRacing, tried it out, and like amazed at how accurate the realism was of these cars. Not just these late models here, but the Xfinity cars, the trucks, the Cup cars, all of it. They're just like really and totally amazed and impressed by how realistic it is. That's something that iRacing's been boasting about for years, and they've backed it up. I mean, and every year it continues to get even better with the way they model damage, the way they model tire wear, track wear. Wesley, you've talked about this in other broadcasts, how the track builds up rubber just like it does in real life.
That's right.
How the dynamic clouds of cloud movement over the sun affects the shading on the track, which affects the tire track temperatures, which affects grip, et cetera, just like in real life. So yeah, he's going to be able to take his experience here and translate a lot of it over to that Super Truck series about his on the gas points, off the gas, braking, getting out of the brakes, how the car handled after a certain amount of laps. He's going to be able to use all that. And that's something that the iRacing can be really proud of, and they are. Oh, wow.
Oh, boy, did you see that bonsai? And by the way, Suggs and Brooks have got some history from South Boston last week as well. Ryan Kuhn was the proverbial winner, but Suggs and Mr. Brooks have made their part of being a part of the outcome of that finish. We're ready to go here. Ready for the restart. It's lap 117 of 150 here at the Easter Bunny 150, and they waved off. John, they've waved off the restart. They're going to come to 1 to go now this time by.
And I saw that. As I was saying, Timmy Holmes finally made his way back up front there. The guy that was sitting on the pole at the start of this race, they inverted the first 8. Yeah.
Started 8.
They inverted the first 8.
And by the way, John, you think about this. Row 4, positions 1 and 2 are now 1 and 2 on the racetrack right now.
Yes, sir. So it kind of works out that way. Love karma. So we'll see how this one unfolds right here as we go back to green, Wesley.
Pace trucks in, lap 118 now becomes lap 119 of 150 in the Easter Bunny 150. They're dodging for eggs and apples, if you will, down the back straightaway. And look at Mr. 33 of Roberts now. Brooks and Suggs and Brooks. Throw now, Holmes and Roberts now in that mix. That goes on as the top 5 are single file. Meanwhile, they're door to door to door like Noah leading the animals to the ark, along with the Easter Bunnies in turn 3.
Easter Bunnies in turn. Well, I'll tell you what, I don't see Easter Bunnies out there. I'll tell you what I do see. I see a lot of angry race cars, and what I mean by that is frowning bumpers where they're smirking either on the right side or on the left side, or maybe frowning in the middle from damage taken. But they are still charging hard. Oh, are we in a caution again? Yes, we are.
We are. Oh, my goodness. What happened? Did Santos?
Like Valdez was involved in something
Valdez
else.
have another one? Juan Valdez? Maybe a piece of debris fell off the track. Maybe the choose car popped back on the racetrack by accident.
Well, Suggs gets to take another shot at the choose car then, right? Oh,
well, he found it. If he can find it, Charles Wooten is the man. He'll track it down. Let's see what happened. Is it Cox again, the 98?
Yes,
it is. It's 98 Cox, 31 in the mix, and yep, there he goes. Yeah, oh my mind. Wow. Oh no. Oh wow, bonsai, buddy. Oh, look out, Slimer. Nickelodeon.
Yeah, you remember what I said about damaging the front end of that race car earlier, right?
Yes, sir. You're exactly right.
He's going to have to worry about that now. He's definitely going to have to worry about that.
But here's the thing, though, John. We talked about this, man. How many cautions is Cox being in? That car is a tank. These cars are tanks. You've got to, like, literally
do what he
crash
just
it in
did.
the wall head on to make something like that happen. Yes.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate. I'm not trying to make light of the guy's misfortune here in the race. That's not what I'm out here to do.
No.
But yeah, it's and he was already 20 some odd laps down. I mean, that's I don't know. At what point do you just throw in the towel and call it a night? I mean, he's 22 laps down. Before that, well, actually, he was 20 laps down before that. Excuse me. So I don't know. I'm one of those guys, Wesley, you've probably picked up on that. I don't like back markers that are multiple laps down, causing some sort of a issue on track, like bringing out the caution flag. Not a fan of it.
I agree with you, buddy. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Hey, listen, so we have got the 1 to go coming up. No, the choose. Is it the choose call? Yeah, coming up here. We'll try this again. I mean, it literally changed over very quickly. This is the Crown Jewel late model stock car E-Series, okay? So, of course, we welcome you to coverage, or the E late model stock car series. We're going to go the 1 to go this time by. John Mushton alongside Wesley Outland here with you. Keep our colleague and friend Samuel Dyer in your prayers. I understand that he's having some vocal issues and just not been feeling under the weather. So hopefully he gets to feeling better. Justin Prince had some other obligations, and we are the four that somehow, some way steer the ship of what is the crown jewel late model stock car series here for iRacing on LSRTV. And as we approach under 25 laps to go, we're settling ourselves in for our barn burner, John, a humdinger here at Hickory.
A humdinger that if you blink your eyes, you're going to miss it because, folks, we are turning laps here under 15 seconds a lap. So this thing will wind down fast if it stays green. I highly recommend we keep our eyes on those top three because right now, you know, Suggs is out front, but like you said, we got a big wreck on the back.
Whoa, trouble. That's Josh Cottle involved. There's Hayes involved again. Slimer somehow got away from it this time.
Slimer? No,
yeah,
you
like
didn't.
Slimer. You like Slimer, you like Nickelodeon, you said slime. Yeah.
When you said Slimer, I'm thinking of Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters, yeah.
Yeah.
I said Slimer, I'm sorry. I meant Nickelodeon. My bad. Hey, next weekend, we are going to the Hampton Heat 200. Man, I'm looking forward to this one. Sam, Justin, and myself will be there. That is next Wednesday night. My apologies. My apologies. It's actually Sam and Justin for the Hampton Heat 200 next Wednesday at Langley Speedway. 200 laps. It says there'll be stage breaks, but you never know. And it's round one, by the way, of the Virginia Triple Crown.
Oh, wow.
Here's a replay of what happened. Look at this. Oh, my. Cottle, Hayes. Oh, my.
Wow.
Caution's out.
This is a really narrow track, and we're seeing it really bite these drivers sometimes when they want to. They're trying to feed that car out as far as they can towards the wall, but they misjudge it is what it seems like to me. And some of them are just loose coming off exit and getting into the wall. But either way, that boilerplate metal up there does not give, Wesley. What it does is it takes your car and shoots it back across the track.
I will be back with you guys for the Crown Jewel events on June 15th, which is the Myrtle Beach 400, and, of course, the Valley Star 300 at Martinsville Speedway. Those big races. Those will be really, really cool. So, and I hope they do this again, John. Man, this has been a really exciting with this Crown Jewel late model stock car series.
Yeah, I'm digging it.
And the thing is there's real drivers that are in the field that I know them. I know who they are. I know their personalities. I know them as being real race car drivers, just like my friend Brett Suggs right there leading the way. I mean, wow, yes, taking advantage of this opportunity to get himself ready to go for the real race with the Southeast Super Truck Series at Hickory this weekend. Phenomenal.
You know what his paint scheme reminds me of? And I'm showing my age here, but back in the late 70s, early 80s, there were boats and vans that were painted like that with that foil look. It's like, I don't know if it's paisley that's in the colored section of that car, but when we see that close, you'll see what I'm talking about. And I just remember there was I think it was my dad's brother. No, I don't remember who it was. Anyway, a member of our family had a boat that was painted like that. It was a black boat, but it had the designs like right there behind the 33, that like paisley look to it. That was a metallic look, and whenever the sun passed over it, it would change colors. I was so fascinated by that as a child. But I digress. We have a race to talk about.
Ready to try this again. And by the way, we're under 20 laps to go, 15 laps to go as a matter of fact. Ready to settle it out here. Next week, Hampton Heat 200 at Langley. Then we come back to Hickory for the Throwback 276, Myrtle Beach, Martinsville, Southern National, all on the way. Season 1 will be a close on the Crown Jewel Late Model Stock Car Series. This is iRacing on LSRTV. Green flag, Wednesday night, short track thunder. Back underway, and Suggs will not be denied. Roberts right up under his back door. Brooks is also there. Williamson in the fight as they go to 3.
I'll tell you what, keep your eye on that 33 of Brooks behind the 33 of Suggs. These guys have history, and we know that they're not afraid. Did somebody hit the wall and disappear? Yeah, that car on the outside there. He's back.
Whoa.
I'll be off guard.
That's Williamson and Holmes going at it, the pole car. Oh, he's sideways. Third tracks at Williamson. They save it. 13 to go. They're into 1.
Williamson is just stuck on that outside right there. Helpless to do anything. The only way to get down the inside is to force somebody out of the way. That's right. That's all he can do right there. In the meantime, back up front, we're coming across the line, 11 to go. And Brooks is still trying to figure out how to get around Suggs without wrecking him. But I promise you, Wesley, when it gets down to less than 5 to go, we may see a bumper on the leader.
Leaning on one another down into the corner. They're going to go 3 wide. I thought they thought about going 4 wide just a moment ago. They say that they're spinning. Cars are going around out of turn 4. I believe that's Cottle's car. Josh Cottle spinning wildly. He has also damaged his car. The number 13, I believe actually now that's Gilliam Fortin. Gilliam Fortin's car is actually the one that just got wrecked there. Wow. Look at this. Oh my mind, John. And guess who's also involved again, John? Jacob Hayes in the 0-0.
Again, at what point do you just wrap this and say, I'm done?
I told you, these cars are like tanks, brother. Look at them. Watch this. This was the storm brewing, if you will, before the wreck. Watch them down on the inside.
He's going to dive down there. And 3 wide, the 69 car.
My Fortin's car.
4 wide.
They tangled.
Hayes took it 4 wide on the inside. What was he thinking?
He sure did. And if you remember, John, you remember me uttering 3 wide, and oh my mind, he's going 4 wide.
You did say 4 wide.
And then the camera angle changed the angle and went back to the action on the track, and it didn't follow that, and you saw the end result of where Gilliam Fortin goes around. But that's the exchange of where they were literally sticking it 3 and 4 wide there.
I mean, 3 wide barely works. What makes you think 4 wide's going to do it? That was just, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to belittle the guy, but what was he thinking? And he sent that thing down in there, man. And he wiped out 3 cars with 1 shot.
He dove in there, man. He bonsai'd is the word we use in the
3 cars in 1 shot, man. If I'm race control, I'm parking that guy, period.
Well, nonetheless, caution is out.
See, that's what I was talking about earlier tonight, man. People that are laps down and just don't have any consideration for people to lead lap. And to bonsai that thing like that was just, man. Oh, goodness. Well, Cameron Ruggles, the 52 car is going to be our last car in the lead lap now. 13 cars in the lead lap. We're in the caution, less than 5 to go. We go back to green. Wesley, what do you think is going to happen with our 2 leaders right here?
I think Brett Suggs better hold on tight, because I really believe that it's coming to the end, and Justin Brooks and Brett Suggs have a little history from the way they raced each other at South Boston last week. And I think that Suggs just better be aggressive. This is the time to be aggressive. Justin Brooks is going to be coming after him here. Oh, and by the way, it's 4 laps to go. There's still a shot of overtime if need be.
Yeah, when we go back to green, it's going to be 3 to go, because we're lights off right now on the pace car.
We're still in the scheduled distance.
Oh, buddy. Hang on to your chairs, folks. It's about to get gritty.
Caution comes out. We go to overtime. It will happen in this series. The battle of the 33s here tonight at Hickory. Brooks, Suggs, green flag. Suggs gets the jump on everyone as they go to turn 1.
And Brooks forces his way down the inside, kind of chops the nose off the Austin Teal. Austin Teal, the 09, back up there after having some incidents tonight here. Working his way up in the 3rd spot right now. The 67 car of Holmes is going to fall to the back. Less than 2 to go now. 2 to go on the backstretch here, Wesley.
Back
go up front.
Yes, sir. Hold them off. Here they come out of turn 4. All he wants to do is find that white flag. That CRN 1 to go. He sees it. Race is official. Wreckers or checkers. Turn number 1. It is Suggs. It is Brooks. Final time. Down into turn number 3. Will he use the bump and run? He drops in there. He moves him up out of the way. Suggs won't back off. He smacks the wall. They're crashing. Still crashes. Suggs crashes. And all the while, Justin Brooks is going to win.
Whoa.
Bump and run. Last lap in turn 3. You knew it was coming. And he wins here at Hickory.
Suggs still manages to cross the line, if that's what you want to call it, in
He's
second
or
place.
Third. Yes, he's second. Yep.
And Teal comes home 3rd, but my God, what a finish. But you knew it was coming, Wesley. You knew it was coming.
I knew the storm was brewing. And honestly, that's just bottom line. It was bound to happen.
Yeah, and this is going to make some very interesting post-race interviews, I might add. Oh, my goodness.
What do you think of that one, ladies and gentlemen? I told you, Justin Brooks, Brett Suggs from South Boston. The story continued here tonight here at Hickory. And again, Justin Brooks getting the win over Brett Suggs. Austin Deal, all the bad luck Austin had, he comes back and finishes third. Timmy Holmes,
yes,
fourth. Colin Roberts, top five. Devin Schillenberg, Shane Williamson, Wally Wilson, Bradley Wilson, not relations, and the series director and founder, of course, of the Crown Jewel Series, Cameron Ruggles. The Virginian finishes in the top 10.
11th place, Fortin comes home in the 13 car. 12th will be Tyler Clerk. The 31 car comes home 13th. That's Brad Carpenter. 14th, double O of Jacob Hayes. Josh Cottle in the 5 cars. 15th, 16th, Kendrick Cryer. 17th, the 19 car of Jordan Valdez. 18th will be the 49 car of Charles Roth. 19th will be the 98 of Drew Cox. And rounding out your field, the top 20, 85 car of Lee Norton.
Wow, wow, wow. When it's all said and done, Mr. Justin Brooks picking up the win. By the way, he is the another single winner this year on the series. There's been only one repeat winner, and that was, of course, in round number 1 of the Triple 35s at New Smyrna Speedway that opened up this series for the Crown Jewel E Late Model Stock Car Series. And that was New Smyrna, Florida, and Dustin Mombercat, who wasn't even in attendance tonight, won those events. Coming up, finish line, post-race wrap-up. We will grab a word with these drivers. Thoughts, feelings, happy, sad, angry? Brooks, Suggs, Deal, they're on the way. Finish line, post-race wrap-up is next. iRacing, LSRTV from Hickory. It's time for the finish line post-race wrap-up. Hey, I encourage you that as soon as this race goes off the air, click on the previous broadcast from LSRTV Productions of Finish Line, hosted by yours truly. We had an awesome show on our Fox Sports Radio program, including Alan Bestwick, Mark James, the radio voice of the Indy 500, Lenny Baticki, and Doug Rice of the Performance Racing Network to preview the big races this weekend. It's probably one of our best productions we've ever done for Finish Line. Check it out. And, of course, Finish Line sponsors our post-race wrap-up on iRacing on LSRTV. We're going to grab a word with the top 3 here tonight after round number 5, third event of the year for the Crown Jewel E Late Model Stock Car Series. And Austin, Deal, 09. Bumps, bangs, bruises virtually along the way, but somehow, some way, you put that car on the podium in the top 3. What a wild one here tonight at Hickory. Definitely a little bit more less aggressive than last week out of at South Boston, but you still had to fight for position to be in the front.
Yeah, tough group of guys over here. We got Brett Suggs, a whole bunch of big names in here. This week was a lot better than the last 2. I think that, you know, the racing incidents was just racing deals, and I wasn't getting upset about them. But I just kept trucking along and kept my cool the whole race and wasn't getting an attitude.
Well, Austin, I'm telling you what, man, I'm truly impressed by the fact that after tonight's trouble, you were able to work your way back up into the top 5 there. Talk to me that last lap. What was going through your head as you watched those 2 in front of you beating the hell out of each other?
I was hoping they're both going to wash up and I was be able to go under them, but, you know, other differences going a long ways. But overall, good race. I'm happy where I finished.
Austin, did you feel that as long as you were up in the front of the podium where you finished, obviously you want to win, everybody wants to win, but there's only going to be one winner at the end, but did you feel like if strategically, and you had some problems along the way, let's not take anything away from that, but you literally, you know, put that aside and climb back up the scoring pylon to be there at the end? Do you feel like, you know, you knew that last restart was going to be a bump and run to try to see how the outcome of the finish would be, and you needed to be in the place you were at right there to finish on the podium?
Without a doubt. Obviously, if you're running second, you're closing down a leader like that. I mean, I would do the same thing, but not as aggressive as other people do. I think that it was a clean bump and run, but it was just over-exaggerated.
All right, man. Well, it's on to the next one, and that'll be the Hampton Heat 200 at Langley Speedway, another tight 3/8 mile track in Hampton, Virginia. I was actually in the Tidewater region this past weekend. Man, thank your sponsors, and we'll see you then.
I want to thank Cameron Rogers for putting the league on. I want to thank you guys for coming out and streaming this race, and basically everybody who comes in and shows up every week.
There you go. There's a driver, of course, of Mr. 09 when it's all said and done. Austin Thiel getting it's the third place on the podium here tonight for the driver out of Austin Thiel, out of Allen. Is it Allen Park, Virginia? Is that where you're from, Austin?
No, Allen Park, Michigan.
Allen Park, yeah, I'm sorry. Well, I'm going to update that right now so I have it correct. Allen Park, Michigan, for the driver there of Austin Thiel. Runner-up in the race. He was so close to winning this thing from Mooresville, North Carolina. Getting ready for the Southeast Super Truck Series race this weekend at Hickory. Brett Suggs, your take of it. Second, you agree with the finish, the way it went down? Did you feel it was coming?
I didn't really expect it when he had about a car length gap out back there. I mean, I could see if he was right on my tail. I don't know. It's unfortunate, but, you know, now we know how to go on to the future races.
Hey, Brett, John Mushton here, man. Listen, so you're going to be moving on in the real world to the same track in the trucks. How much of the information that you gained tonight on how the car runs, how the tires wear down, will you be able to translate over to real world racing for you in those super trucks?
Well, unfortunately, I am not actually racing this weekend. I will be at Hickory working with a couple drivers with my marketing business, but unfortunately not taking to the track, which is a shame because Hickory is one of my favorites. It's the hometown track. I was really wishing and hoping we could get the truck out there, but unfortunately not going to be able to make it. But still, it might, you know, give me a little bit of insight to kind of help some of the drivers that I work with and, you know, kind of coach them along the way.
And I'm heartbroken for you, Brett, because it looked like from your social media that you were going to be putting that truck out there, man. But, you know, what does it mean in closing? You can thank your sponsors as well, Brett, to run these real tracks, run these races on the sim. And does it help you when you really get out there on that racetrack? What does it do for you when you're trying to prepare to race a real event? And obviously, you're not there's so much other things that also come into the real racing realm of things, but this has got to be the closest simulation to let you get a feel of what the track's like, what the banking's like, what the bumps are like, to give you an idea of how you'll do on a real speedway.
Yeah, I think it definitely gives a pretty good insight, especially Hickory. Now, I haven't raced IRL at Hickory since 2019 was the last time our truck tour went there. But I really think now with how many more laps I've turned virtually, whenever the opportunity to step back in the seat and take some laps around Hickory prevails, I think I'll be much more acclimated. You know, when you're running the virtual deal, you're not burning up tires and equipment and just the price of getting to the track in general. So I think some of that seat time virtually, and especially with the VR like I run, gives you a lot better sense of feel and kind of a heads up as to what you could expect when you get on the real track. But I'm just fighting hard, man. Hopefully we'll have a few opportunities later on this season to get back in the seat. But I think Hickory is probably the only iRacing track that we do go to IRL. So I'd definitely be turning a lot of laps if that's where we end up real life racing.
All right, Brett. Well, listen, bud, we appreciate it, man. Thank you for your time. Second place here tonight.
Yep, and I want to give a shout out to everybody at Team 33, twitch.tv/BrettSuggs33 tuning in. We have 40 people still hanging out in the chat, so big kudos to everybody tuning in. Also, shout out to my man Willie P on the box. He was keeping me calm, cool, and collected there. during that whole race and making excellent calls on the stand. So big shout out to Willie, as well as the Custom Matco, Brett Suggs Racing Marketing. Check out our social pages for a lot of content coming from Hickory this weekend. Rocket iRace Wraps, McConey Setup Shop, and Racer Tees for just everything that they do to support our program.
When it's all said and done. Hey, by the way, you got to think out Jones Barbecue, too. That's a good place to eat at.
Oh, yeah. Team Jones Race Development.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, the man out of Mooresville, North Carolina, 20-year-old Brett Suggs will settle for the number 2 position. Victory lane we go. And, of course, it is the driver of the number 33. And as I said, these drivers, of course, Brooks and Suggs, along with Ryan Kuhn, the proverbial winner last week in Sobo, they were a part of this battle. But when it's all said and done, the McCall, South Carolina, 29-year-old for Willen and Dillon Motorsports picks up the win. Justin, was you planning to have to, I mean, was there no other choice but to have to do the bump and run to get around Suggs, you feel? And how do you feel after everything settles in at the end of the race when you're the winner?
It wasn't the original plan. I pitted there for tires, and I thought we were able to get back up there and have long green flag runs. And by the time I got to P3, it was nothing but a caution fest, and everybody's tires cooled off, so it was like even game. And every time I was trying to set them up for a pass, a caution came out, and a caution come out, and a caution come out. So at that point, I had to go to the outside and try to see if I could do a crossover on them and all, and that didn't work. And I just knew at the end there, if I was within half a car, I was just going to try my best to give them the cleanest bump and run I could. And I think I did a pretty good job at that. I hit them pretty square and knocked them up the track a little bit, like you would see in Hickory in real life. Like, I tried my best to run him clean. Yeah, I tried to run my best to run him clean because he's given me a lot of room here this season. If it'd been anybody else, I might have hit him a little bit harder. But I'm glad that it didn't wreck him. That's the biggest thing here. And I'm glad we could come away with a win and put on a show for you guys.
Sorry, I forgot to push my button there, Justin. Well, look, man, we know we were watching on screen. We knew it was coming. So, and you heard the interview that Brett gave. So looking forward, are you okay with the fact that he's probably going to run you pretty rough too from here on out?
I mean, I'm not expecting him to run me rough. I'm expecting, like, if the roles are reversed and it's 2 to go, 1 to go, and he's behind me on the last lap, I expect him to give me a bump, if anything, a little bit harder, hit me like a street stock or something. But I think he realizes this is a clean bump and all. Like, I don't think he's too upset about it. Like, I mean, that's Hickory. I mean, he races there in real life. He knows how it goes and all. Like, that's just short track racing in my book. And it'd be different if I would have wrecked him, but I know how to do it just right and all. And I've been on the receiving end of it way too many times, and I was like, okay, this is my time to go for it and all. And I felt like we had a winning car. It's just we got spun out there after we pitted and all. And then, like I said, those cautions coming out really hurt us. And I just had to do what I had to do. And like I said, I feel like I did it the cleanest way possible.
Justin, we've known each other for at least 4 or 5 years, my friend. You from McCall, South Carolina, right there in the PD region of Darlington, and, of course, Florence and Dillon and Myrtle Beach when the track was open. How much fun are you having with this Crown Jewel E-Series that they've created, that Brandon Ruggles have done?
I'm having a blast. Like I said, you got guys like Brad out here. You got Dustin Marquette, which I don't know what happened to him tonight. He didn't show up. Ryan Kuhn, Alex McCollum. There's a few other several drivers I can name as well. I don't want to go naming them and forget somebody and then they get upset with me, but they know who they are. It's just a pleasure to race against them because they're fast and they're clean for the most part. And these races are so much fun, especially when you get the green flags like we did here at the beginning. Like, I was trying to save my tires and keep the lead at the same time, which is really hard when you have a driver like the caliber of Josh Cobble right behind you, hounding you, and you're just doing your best to just stay out front but not push the tires too much. And if I'd have known that we'd have all the cautions again, I would have stayed out. But that's the name of the game. Strategy comes into play, and we did the best we could with it and put ourselves in a position there to try to take it at the end, and we had a blast. So, I mean,
hey, I got to segue that, and you thank your sponsors, and we'll get out of here, Justin. The stage breaks on lap 45 and 90, did they just make the decision to do away with it because of so many cautions you guys had naturally in the race?
I got told before the race there was a stage break, so that's what threw me for a loop, and that's why I pitted when I did, because I figured everybody else would, and the tires wore it out pretty good. I mean, if there had been stage breaks, I would have never pitted till lap 90, but tires definitely make a difference here. But when you have those cautions, man, it just evens it out. Like, it's crazy. Like, Brett was pretty much on the same tires I was, so it made it harder to get around them.
Gotcha. Well, listen, when it's all said and done, the 29-year-old for Willen and Dillon Motorsports out of McCall, South Carolina, Justin Brooks picks up the win here tonight at Hickory. Justin, congrats to you, buddy. We'll see you next week, or they'll see you next week at Langley for the Hampton Heat 200. Should be a good one.
Yep, see you guys.
Oh, it's all said and done. Of course, again, the driver, Justin Brooks, picking up the win. Mr. Brett Suggs will settle for second. Austin Thiel will go for third. By the way, I want to say thanks to Cameron Ruggles, the series director, also Caleb Hall, the race director. John, what'd you think of your first experience of the Crown Jewel E Late Model Stock Car Series? We wrap it up here tonight. And Justin and Samuel on the call next week for the Hampton Heat 200 at Langley Speedway, my friend.
That was awesome. I watched you guys last week, which is how I knew there was a little bit of history between the two drivers that were up front tonight for the last couple laps. But it was fun to watch. It was about what I expected, and my hat's off to Caleb Hall and Cameron Ruggles for running a pretty damn good show. I love the choose car. Please, God, keep the choose car. That was awesome. But, yeah, great race, man. And you know what? I don't usually spend my evenings watching races on YouTube because my wife is kind of, on my heart and soul. We like to spend time together, but I'm going to convince her to sit down and watch y'all next week for the next week's race on the big screen. So there, yeah, I love it.
There you go. Well, it's always a pleasure, John, working with you, my friend, of course, from Sim 500. And again, Justin Prince and Samuel Dyer will be back next week. As always, you can follow the Crown Jewel E Late Model Stock Car Series on Facebook. As well as you're doing that, go to @LSRTV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. For Jeff Stabdow, for Charles Wooten, of course, everybody at Rocket Media. For my friend John Muschin in Louisiana, I'm Wesley Outland in North Carolina. Congratulations to South Carolina's Mr. Justin Brooks, winner tonight at the track that is known as the birthplace of the NASCAR stars, the Hickory Motor Speedway. It's on to Langley. Y'all be good to one another. Thank you, troops that have fought for our country. Have a happy Memorial Day. We still keep our thoughts and prayers for those with the school shooting in Texas, and we thank you for watching.